you know, that whole situation, I didn't think, for the big bad guy in the UFC who always says outrageous stuff and says whatever he feels like to react like that. I was more shocked than feeling I have an advantage. I was almost like, is this a show? What are you doing? And but I mean, I guess it's not. Sometimes it's not. Nobody likes to get some of their own medicine sometimes, and that's exactly what happened there. And everything happened the way it did, and yeah, I mean, is it an advantage? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, even without it, I believe I had the advantage. But yeah, what happened happened, and I guess we'll see. I think. For his sake, he probably has the right people around him to get his mind back to where it needs to be for fight night. But in terms of for me, with the whole fight that happened, him attacking me, all that, no, we're fighters, and boys will be boys. What happened? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. I'm not mad at him. I never was mad at him. The whole press conference, I handled that. I was respectful and I was answering fan questions, and
Yep.
no, I went there with an open mind to respond to whatever happens. When Sean Strickland's at the press conference, he's going to be talking a lot. He doesn't really say anything. He just rambles. No, he just rants, and fans like it because he says outrageous stuff. And when he realized the only thing he has to that the fans want to see is him just ranting and saying, just ranting about random stuff and being outrageous. He was respectful in the beginning of that press conference too,
Very.
and he threw the first jab, and I was very, very respectful because it's a champion, and I try to be as real as to who I am. And if you're gonna be respectful towards me, I'm gonna be respectful towards you. But I ain't scared of any bantering. I'm scared of trash talk. I don't care. I'm gonna treat you the way you treat me, and he found that out the hard way. And then he threw a jab, and I let it go. I let it go, and then he realized he needs to get something. He needs to get this crowd going. It was almost towards the end, and he tried to bully me. He tried, and I showed him what a real bully in that case can do. I showed him, listen, no matter where you try and take this fight, I'm better than you, and that's how it played out.
Speaking of you being better than him, you made the point during that press conference. He was somebody who was ranked what, like 5, 6, 7. But top 10 ranked fighter certainly, but not somebody that it seemed like was going to get an imminent title shot. He takes the fight against Israel. We know what happens. Do you view him as the best opponent that you've ever faced? Obviously, you've been in there. We just saw you run through Robert Whitaker. Till. I mean, we've seen you fight some of the most talented fighters in the world. Dricus, is Sean your toughest opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now with the momentum and the confidence he has after beating somebody like Izzy, who almost seemed like nobody could beat him in the middleweight division. Uh, he has to have some sort of confidence around him and a sense of invincibility and knowing what he does work, and he does. He is an incredible fighter. I don't see him as I 100% know and believe that if Izzy had the belt, I would have beaten him too. But it's two completely different fighters. It's two complete different approaches to the fight, and I think that's what the old saying of styles make fights. So, is he the best guy in the world? Yes, he has the world title. Is he technically or ne- before the Adesanya fight, nobody in the world would have ever said that Strickland beats Whitaker. It just wouldn't have happened. And I know, I 100% believe that Whitaker beats Strickland. But that's not the same fight. The
Right.
Whitaker fight for me is not the same fight as the Strickland fight. It's a completely different fight, a completely different outlook, and a completely different style, and a complete different mindset.
Does what you watched Sean do to Israel, and we know we've heard so many people say Israel, most talented striker the UFC's ever seen. Watching what he did and how he handled somebody with, a fabulous striking like Israel, does that give you any pause, Dricus? And obviously understanding your kickboxing background and where you came from and how incredible you are, does that give you any pause? Were you impressed by what he was able to do to Adesanya?
Yeah, Absolutely, I was impressed with how he showed up. It wasn't that short notice, but he went into enemy territory and he stepped up to the occasion. And of course, you can't help but be. I mean, Adesanya was one of the best middleweights to ever do it,
Yep.
and he came in there and he made it look easy, and that was no. Yeah, we can go. Adesanya did look off. It wasn't the best Adesanya we've seen. All that, it doesn't matter. Sean Strickland went in there and he fought brilliantly, and he's the champion of the world for a reason, and he deserves it 100%. He fought like a world champion when he beat Israel Adesanya.
Maybe it doesn't even matter, but was a part of you bummed out that Israel lost that fight because of obviously all of the bad blood between you and Israel? And is that something that you are hoping one day down the road, for your sake, you with the belt, you get to make that, or I guess finally share that octagon with Israel?
Bummed out? Not at all. For me, like I said, as soon as Sean won that belt, my focus shifted to Sean Strickland. It was never about fighting Israel Adesanya. It was about fighting for the world title. And yeah, I mean, things work out. I know fans want to see myself and Israel Adesanya fight, but after next weekend, I'll be getting the pay-per-view points.
I'll get you out of here on this one, Dricus. What will it mean to you? You said your whole life you've been working towards this moment. Now we're like 9 days away from that belt possibly being wrapped around your waist. What will it mean to you to win that belt?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not. It, there's nothing else. I think I said it last night to somebody. My life, for me, this is the end. This is the end of the road for me. I'm either gonna win or I'm gonna die trying. And after Saturday night, I'm gonna. That will be the last time I'm not the champion of the world. It's a new era of the sport. It's a new era of my for myself. Yeah, I have a team around me, the same people I've always had around me, and that's going to stay the same. But this is almost the old me. Fine, this is a step. This is by far not the last step. I have a lot of things I have to do in the sport still, but this is going to be the first step to the great Dricus Du Plessis, and I can't wait for that. To bring that belt home, to bring that belt to South African soil, to African soil, is going to be the single most incredible moment of my life, and it's going to make history for South Africa, for Africa, and it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be. It's a thing of legend. It's a thing where legends are made, and I can't believe I'm part of it. I mean, it's an absolutely amazing privilege.